Enjoy the convenience of 7 days a week banking and extended hours with Cube from First Arkansas Bank and Trust. Member FDIC. It's time for From the Short Grass with Trey Schaap, a golf podcast for those who love golf, struggle with golf, and just like to enjoy the outdoors and fellowship with friends, all while chasing a ball around trying to put it in a 4 1/4 inch diameter hole. From the Short Grass is brought to you by Stevens Incorporated, an independent financial services firm with the freedom to focus on what matters most. Blackman Auctions. For over 80 years, better auctions have always been Blackman Auctions. Beechwood Pinnacle Hotels. We partner with you to deliver high-yield results by managing, developing, and investing in top-quality hospitality assets. And now, from the Short Grass, here is your host, Trey Schaap.
Welcome to another edition of From the Short Grass. I am your host, Trey Schaap. Well, the United States Golf Association and the Royal and Ancient Golf Association have come up with rule changes set to take effect in 2023. Now, we're going to get Adam Carney on in a later episode to discuss these rule changes. In the 2023 rules of golf, there will be 5 key changes to the rules. First, handicap on a scorecard. You are not required to put your handicap on your scorecard, and there is no penalty if you return your scorecard in a competition with an incorrect handicap. This is now the committee's responsibility. This change is consistent with other penalty reductions, such as reducing the penalty for playing an incorrectly substituted ball from the general penalty to 1 stroke. Simplified back-on-the-line relief. When using this relief option, you are required to drop your ball on the line, and it may roll up to 1 club length in any direction now. Replacing a damaged club. If your club is damaged during a round, except in cases of abuse, and yes, I've seen that happen before, maybe even myself, you may replace it, repair it, or continue to use it. So before you could not use a damaged club, now you can, if it happens in the normal course of the round. A new rule modification for players with disabilities. There's a new Rule 25 that is coming out. The modifications are now part of the rules and are in effect for all competitions and all players who fall under the categories covered in new Rule 25. A ball moved by natural forces. When your ball is at rest after you have taken relief and then rolls into another area of the course due to natural causes, there is no penalty now, and you must replace your ball. I think back to Ricky Fowler out at TPC Scottsdale in the Waste Management Open. He went into a penalty area. He dropped his ball. His ball was at rest. Then all of a sudden, the wind picks up and blows his ball back into that penalty area. He was assessed another stroke. Now, that's not going to be the case. We'll get with Adam Carney, and we'll have him go over all of these new rule changes before the start of 2023. Coming up on this edition of From the Short Grass, I met Patrick Mwendapole, a golfer from the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, who was competing in the Jackson T. Stevens Cup at Seminole Golf Club back in October. He hails from Lusaka, Zambia, and he is a bright gentleman, and I think you're going to enjoy listening to him. That's coming up. But first, I want to thank one of our great sponsors, Beechwood Pinnacle Hotels. If you haven't tried their Sunday brunch at Agassi 7 on top of the Hilton Garden Inn in downtown Little Rock, you need to. Give them a call, make a reservation. Sunday brunches at Agassi 7. We're back after this. Stay with us.
This is Thomas Blackman with Blackman Auctions. The economy is changing slowly but surely. The market is slowing down in a gradual slide. Not an emergency yet, the sky is not falling, but a change is coming. When times are good, auctions make buyers compete to buy at the highest market value. When the economy gets tough, auctions force buyers to make a purchase decision. Either way, auctions get the highest return for a seller and a strong deal for a buyer. With an experienced auction company, it's a simple process. Go to blackmanauctions.com for more information. Since 1938, better auctions are Blackman Auctions.
With all the decisions you need to make about what to do in El Dorado, finding a place to stay is an easy one. The Haywood is uniquely positioned to make your stay one to treasure. Located in the historic Union Square district of El Dorado, the Haywood offers luxurious accommodations that feature contemporary, colorful rooms with high-quality bedding, comfortable baths with walk-in showers, and a spacious workspace with stylish plantation shutters that are unique additions to the stunning decor in a non-smoking environment. Make the Haywood your home away from home the next time you visit El Dorado.
Strength is measured not by the number of accounts. Strength is placing value on relationships. It's having the vision and the guts to invest in growth. It's the commitment to responsibly manage your money. At Stephens, we believe that our strengths build success, not only for us, but for our clients. Stephens, member NYSE, SIPC. Welcome back to this edition of From the Shortgrass. On the tee, a member of the UAPB golf team, Patrick Mwendapole.
Patrick Mwendapole, welcome to From the Shortgrass. Did I pronounce your name correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's pretty good.
Hey, if you tell me how to do it, I think maybe by the fourth or fifth time I might be able to get it right. So I did okay.
Fair enough. Yes,
so
sir.
We're off to
Yes,
a good
sir.
start then.
We are. Yeah.
It's like making a birdie on your first hole, right?
Yeah. It goes either way, you know.
So you're from Zambia.
Yes, sir.
How did you pick up the game of golf in Zambia?
So my dad actually introduced me to the game. He started off as a caddy, and then he bought himself a set of clubs and then started playing. And this was a long time ago. And then when I was 8 years old, he took me away for like a year, and he promised my mom that I was going to go to school, but I didn't go to school for a year. I was just playing golf, and I just fell in love with the game.
Where did he take you? Where did y'all go?
We went to a town called Livingston. It's like where the Victoria Falls is. But
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
He used to run a soccer team, so.
There aren't many places to play golf, I would imagine, in Zambia, correct?
There's a couple of golf courses.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's over 15.
That's not bad.
Yes, sir.
So what got you hooked on the game?
So I used to play soccer and golf, but I went too deep with the game. You know, I understood it at an early age, and I just kept playing. You know, and like I'd have stuff to do, but then when it was time to play golf, I just went to play golf with the boys. And especially, I think the other thing is that everyone I was friends with at that time, we grew up playing golf together. Yeah, at an early age, I was like the coach.
Yeah. So you like to compete with them and everything?
Yes. Oh yeah. I'm a very big competitive guy. Like even now, like when I work at Christ Church during the summers and with the youth program, and we'll just start playing a game with the kids, and I tell myself, I'm like, okay, this is just for fun. Don't be competitive. And midway, I am all out. You know. So
That's amazing. Okay, so were there places to play competitive, like compete in tournaments over there as you grew up?
Yes. I live like a 13-minute walk from a golf course. So they had Saturday tournaments, and they had junior tournaments on weekends too. So, and just in the country, we had an amateur schedule, and so we'd play tournaments all year round.
Where did you rank over there? Pretty good?
When I was a kid, I mean, I'll just play for fun, you know. But when the older I got, I was pretty good. I was team captain for the national team for the under-19 for 4 years.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Was there much talk of golf in America, golf in Europe, golf around the world over there, like the Tiger Woods, the Jordan Spieth, Justin Rose, Phil Mickelson, Dustin Johnson? Was there talk about that amongst you guys growing up about, hey, maybe one day I could be like one of them?
Yes, and that was Tiger Woods. Like, if you go back home, every golfer you can find, they'll tell you that Tiger Woods just is the reason they joined the game of golf. And same for me and a bunch of my friends, we looked up to him.
All right, let's talk about the move from Zambia to the United States of America.
Yes, sir.
When did you make that move, and how difficult was it to leave there and come here?
It was my senior year, and one of the guys that I used to play golf back home had gotten a scholarship to go to New Mexico Military Institute, which is junior college in New Mexico. And midway through my senior year, he called me. He was like, "Hey, I want you to come play college golf here. I could find you a scholarship." And at that time, I was big into football, which you guys call soccer, and golf. And so I took that to my dad, and my dad was like, "Okay, I guess you have to hang up one." And so I chose to hang up football and continued playing golf. And he managed to get me a full scholarship to go to New Mexico Military Institute.
Was that a tough decision to give up football?
Yes, it goes back home. Football is like culture. You grow up into that. And so I had a really tough time just admitting to the fact that I was, I still play a little bit, but just the fact that I can't go out there and play every weekend, it was rough. And just everything in general, like, I had to raise money to get a ticket and all the other stuff that come into it.
You looking forward to watching the World Cup coming up?
Yes, my country did not make it, unfortunately, but
right, but you still watch.
Yes, oh yeah. I'm a big-time football fan. I watch Premier League every Saturday morning.
It's tough for that to kind of pick on over here in the States, isn't it?
It is. I don't know. People in the States, they're too much into American football that they think soccer is lame. So.
Yes, they do. I will agree with you on that. All right, so you're at New Mexico Military Institute, and you're playing there. What was it like being in the United States, competing for your college team?
So, before I went to New Mexico Military Institute, I traveled a lot, like, out of the country. My first flight out of Zambia, I went to play in the British Junior Open, and I was 14 years old, but the States was just different.
Mm-hmm.
I got here, and especially just coming from Zambia and then going straight into a military institute. And I guess it was a little bit easy because I knew what I had to do every day. I didn't have to prepare for anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it was really good. I think that was the best step for me.
Because there you pretty much had your daily routine, a regimen, if you will, that you had to go through every day, right?
Yes. I didn't have to worry about what I was going to wear on Tuesday because I had a uniform set for Tuesday. So throughout the week, I knew what I was going to wear. I knew I had classes and golf, and everything was there. I had study also. Like, it was just day-to-day routine. There was nothing different.
With those times set, were you able to find time to practice your game?
Yes, we practiced from 3:30 to 5:30, and then most of the times on Tuesdays and Thursdays I had like one class. So I'll be out there like early in the morning, and then my class was like 10, so I'd be out there in the morning and then go back out there early at like 1 after lunch.
So now you're at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, UAPB,
yes,
on
sir.
the golf team there.
The Golden Lions.
How did that happen? How did you leave New Mexico Military Institute and end up in Pine Bluff?
This is actually an interesting story, because a lot of people have their opinions on COVID. And for me, COVID was actually a good thing. COVID hit, and then I had nowhere to go. And then one of the kids, because New Mexico Military Institute is a college and high school.
Okay.
Yeah, so one of the kids in high school, he offered me, he was like, well, you could come stay with us for a few weeks. And they're now my host family, and I still live with them.
Where are they from?
They're in New Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah, so now I don't have to go back and forth back home paying a lot of money. They took me in, and now I live with them, and they're a really good family.
But then the trek from there to the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, How did you wind up at UAPB?
Yeah, so I played 1 year, and we didn't have a team. We only had 3 guys on the team at New Mexico Military Institute. And after the COVID year, they asked me, do you want to stay here for another year? And I was like, well, there's really no point for me to stay if there's not a team. College golf is all about playing as a team. And then so I went out and emailed like 100 coaches. And then Coach Roger just got back to me. I got a lot of responses from a lot of coaches, but then I didn't have as many stats because I didn't play enough tournaments.
Right.
Yeah, and so he got back to me, and then we started talking, and this was during the summer. And then he was like, I really like your how you go about things, and let's keep talking, and then we'll see where we go. And then maybe a month later, he told me, okay, I want you here. And then he offered me a scholarship to go play.
What's it been like being at UAPB?
It was a huge improvement for me because the biggest thing was there was a team there. There was more than 3 guys. I had the first feeling of playing out there and knowing that 4 other guys are counting on me to play really good. Unlike at New Mexico Military Institute where it was an individual thing. So I didn't really care what I shot because it wasn't affecting anybody else. But going to UAPB was really good because those other guys are depending on me and I was depending on other guys. So,
how did you make that switch? Because at UAPB, like you said, it's more of a team as opposed to an individual when you were at New Mexico Military Institute. Now, golf is an individual game, but a lot of people don't understand. College golf is a team sport. Everybody has to play their role, right?
Absolutely. And so the transition, I just had to switch to to a team thinking when I was on the golf course. There was no being selfish, not going for every pin. Because I knew, if I make double bogey, that's 2 shots on my team. If we want to win, I need to make like smart choices. And bit by bit, I started getting that confidence of, okay, the other guys are going to play good. Just play your best, stick it out until the last hole.
When you look at the game of golf, what do you like about it?
I think it's the closest game to life. There's always going to be ups and downs. It's not a straight road. Mm-hmm. You could be at the top today and you could be at the bottom tomorrow. And such is life. So that's really if I feel like as a golfer, if you can get through the tough times, then you could get through the tough times in life as well.
What's the best part of your game? What are your strengths?
My mental strength. Yeah, I don't hit it long. And like you saw me out there today, I was not really hitting it straight, but up there mentally, I beat a lot of people just by my mentality.
How do you get that? Where does that come from?
That's a good question. I don't really know. I think when I was a kid, I just told myself never to get upset. I always just try to look forward to the next shot.
Well, you've got a good attitude. That's one thing. And I think that's part of it in golf is if you have a good, positive attitude, that can kind of help the mental side, can it not?
Yes. Oh, for sure. Because, if you understand that, once you hit a bad shot, you cannot take that back. That is there. You can't do anything about that. So you don't have to get mad at that because you have a very important next shot coming up. But once you get caught up in the past, and then you're done for. So I think if you want to have a strong mentality on the golf course, you got to accept the fact that what's in the past is in the past. You cannot change that.
What was it like when you got the invitation to play in the 2nd annual Jackson T. Stevens Cup at Seminole Golf Club in Juno Beach, Florida?
This is this is something I've dreamed of. Something I wanted to be part of, and especially last year, one of my teammates, Josh McRae, played in this tournament. And before I got back, actually, Coach called me. He was like, "Hey, the Stevens Cup, they sent me an email, do you want to play in it? I say, heck yeah, coach. This is the reason I'm here, to play with the best guys out there, test my abilities, see where I am. I got to play against the best competition. And it was a huge honor for them to just give an invitation to me. I don't think it's something I deserve, and it's a really good opportunity to be out here and competing.
Your experience at Seminole, how was it?
Unreal. Greens, pointless. Sand, the fairways pure. It's unreal, and now I understand why it's the best golf course in Florida, because it's really good, and it's a tough track. And one bad shot is going to cost you a lot. And just being out here, meeting these new people is unreal.
Playing against the ocean, that's got to be an experience.
Yes. Well, it hasn't done much lately because it's been hot out there. It's surely been a warm welcome to Seminole.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a little breeze today, which made it feel a lot better than yesterday. But
your final round at Seminole in the second annual Jackson T. Stevens Cup, you were paired with a couple of Arkansas Razorback golfers, Matthew Griggs and Segundo Pinto. What were they like?
Well, before we teed off, I called them my distant cousins because they're only a couple of minutes away from Pine Bluff. But they're really, really good golfers and great personality on the golf course. Just playing with those guys, those are part of the top guys that play amateur golf right now, and it's unreal. I had a moment with them because all of us had Ping Blueprints golf clubs. And I was telling Segundo, I was like, this is really cool. I was having a moment there, I looked at your bag and I looked at Matthew's bag, and we got the same clubs. But yeah, it was an honor, just walking those holes with them and just having a chat. And
did you learn anything from them?
Yes, for sure. Matthew, he was out there, he struggled a little bit like me, but he stayed in the moment. Like, just watching him execute, you could tell that this guy was in every moment of every shot he took. And Segundo's just calm and, and just execute every time. So those are the positives that I took from those guys today, and I look forward to adopting those into my game.
Do you think you gave them anything?
I don't know. Well, they like me, so I must have left an impact on them. Yeah, but I hope I did. Just being around those guys is unreal. So if they got anything from me, that's huge for me.
Well, I know that their coach, Brad McMakin, spoke very highly of you. Said that you're a great competitor, a great golfer. Keep your head down. You pull off some great shots. I have to ask, because I was told, Coach McMakin told me 100 golf balls, we could not make a par on number 14 the way you did today. So walk us through that shot.
Well, I shouldn't have been there, in the first place. I had about 140 out on my third, and I pulled it straight left, and then it was embedded. And I got a drop, and the green is running away from me, and those greens are running out of 13. I got a bunker, and I don't have anything to work with. But then I take a drop, and it was sitting pretty good. I had a wedge in my hand, and I had a 60 degrees. I was like, should I just hit a bump pitching wedge to the side, get it on the green, 2-putt bogey? I was like, well, with how this is sitting, I've clipped a couple of golf balls in practice. With this lie, I think I could do it one more. And I just said, just execute. Whatever happens, happens. Just stand there, have confidence that you're going to pull this off. And I just stayed in the moment. And, I clipped it perfect. Good flop, hit the fringe, rose to about 8 feet, and made the putt. It was a really good 5.
What was their reaction?
Just from the chip, not so much the putt, but the chip was unreal, and they were feeling that one.
What would you say to Mr. Warren Stevens? I know you've had the chance to meet him now and everything, but what would you say to him about inviting you to this event for this week?
Well, I can't thank him enough. I don't think there's anything I'd say that would thank him enough for just giving me this opportunity. I'm a small boy from Zambia and miles from here, and I play at Pine Bluff, and for him to just take time and think, okay, I think this boy needs an opportunity like this. I don't think there's anything I could do that would match and, equal to what he did for me, So all I could say to him is just thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate it and really enjoyed meeting with him and talking with him, and really thanked him because he walked with us the first 9 holes, and, is a busy man. He could be doing a lot of things, but, he spent his time with us today for 9 holes, so just thank you for that.
All right, a couple of more questions. I like to do this with every guest on the podcast. Best golf course you've ever played?
Seminole, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
I think I knew that was going to be the answer.
Yeah. It's such a good track.
Fantasy foursome. Living or deceased, 3 other golfers you would like to play around with?
Oh. I think I'll take Tiger. And then I'll put Ricky Fowler in there in his prime.
Yeah.
And then the 4th one, that's tough. Because I'm thinking JT for the vibes.
For the vibes, I like that.
Yeah, but then I'm thinking Jordan Spieth to be cashing those 60-footers, So that's tough. But I think I'd have to go with JT because I'd, love some banter on the golf course.
Man, what a story. Patrick Mwendapole.
Oh, that's perfect.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Best of luck in your career. Best of luck in life. We're going to keep track of you. And I have a good feeling that you return next year, your COVID senior year, there's a good chance you might be playing in the Jackson T. Stevens Cup next year in Dallas at Trinity Forest.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for having me. I really, really appreciate it. Can't thank you enough.
What an absolutely incredible young man Patrick Mwendapole is. And at the Stevens Cup at the Seminole Golf Club back in October, as we said during that interview, he hit one of the greatest shots that Arkansas coach Brad McMakin has ever seen. For him to get up and down where he was on the 14th hole was basically extremely difficult. And Brad McMakin said, Trey, you could take 100 golf balls and you might not get one to where he was. And he was able to save par on that hole. Blackman Auctions. Since 1938, better auctions have always been Blackman Auctions. You can find all of their upcoming auctions on their website, blackmanauctions.com. We're back to wrap it up after this.
When your travels take you to Bentonville for a meeting with Walmart, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or the Walmart amp for a concert, make sure you book your stay at one of the top Beechwood Pinnacle Hotel Group properties. Beechwood Pinnacle Hotel Group manages the Doubletree Suites, an all-suite hotel with tons of meeting space, and the Hilton Garden Inn, which has been newly remodeled rooms throughout the entire property. The best place to stay in Northwest Arkansas is a Beechwood Pinnacle Hotel Group property. Visit them on the web at bphotels.com.
This is Thomas Blackman with Blackman Auctions. The other day I was visiting with Trey, and he talked about goose poop and iguana poop and a golf ball, and if you hit the poop or the iguana or the goose, can you move the ball or the poop or something like that. Listening to him talk about poop and golf balls with such passion made me realize how much he knows about golf and how little I did. Once again, Trey really knows golf. I really know auctions. For the last 84 years, better auctions have been Blackman Auctions.
That will do it for this edition of From the Shortgrass. Again, I want to thank Patrick Mwendapole for joining me on this episode. The winter cold looks like it might be here to stay for a while, so remember, bundle up when you head out to the course, get you some hand warmers, and always pay attention to what the superintendents have decided to make the cart rules for the day. Some days you might be 90 degrees, some days you might be cart path only. It's all to help protect the course. And remember, when you find your ball mark on the green, fix it and a couple of more. And I hope to see you sometime soon from the short grass.
You've been listening to From the Short Grass, a weekly podcast dedicated to the game of golf. This has been a presentation of the Buzz Radio Network.